We can get started with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Till the end of March.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Which will meeting to order. 3. Sorry we haven't had any meetings. Been a crazy summer for me, so we'll try to get back on track. We don't have much in the way of a agenda. We do have an Article 43 application, which is actually ours, so Denny, you'll have to take over when we go over it and vote on it, or if we don't vote on it, either way. But I just want to see how we are with the contract that went out for snow plowing. How is it? How do you think it's going to be now? Or
I think it'll be fine. I mean, the two companies that got it, Mike Cloud, they got the north side, and the gentleman that has been plowing for the town for the last 4 years got the south side, and I really think everything's going to be. I don't really think there's going to be anything to worry about this year. I think it'll be just like it always has been, and if not, a little bit better. So, personally, myself, I don't have any bad feelings about it. I think with the contract went out, I think it was laid out pretty well what needs to be done and what has to be happening and what we need for equipment, and I think we'll be in good shape.
Roughly, what is that, Will?
What's that?
Like, what is that for the equipment?
They
Does it
wanted
say?
three wing trucks, 6-wheelers are bigger, but, standard 3-wing trucks, plow wing, sander, and then, either two 3/4 ton pickups with sanders, or you have a 3/4 ton pickup or a 1 ton, but hey, it's gotta be 3/4 ton and bigger, and, I believe you gotta have two of them on each side of town, I believe, either 1 or 2 or less, which I kinda took it as like the storm, you get a small storm, just go sand, and you ain't gonna send.
No, it's the whole fleet out, no.
Yeah, no, but on a big storm, I think they wanna see everything out, which,
Who
that
makes-
happened anyway.
Who makes the call on when to go out?
It's
Is it-
supposed to be the contractor, but either the select board or myself can call the contractor.
But it's up to the contractor.
Yeah, and like I said, the two companies doing, I'm pretty certain everything will be like it has been in the past. I really have I have no doubts in it, so I'm pretty confident.
Oh, I'm sure.
But,
I'm sure.
yeah, no, the contract was laid out, pretty well, and with their equipment and everything, so like I said, I'm not too worried about it, so I think we'll be fine, and, everything down the sand shed will pretty much stay the same, and, we do have a limitation on the salt, which that's pretty standard in all the, contracts, but, like I said.
What's the limit?
There's 400 ton per side, actually.
400 per extra?
Yeah, and that's quite an increase from other towns, but don't quote me on it, but I don't even think we've bought over 800 ton of salt the last couple of years.
That was my next question, how much do we
Through the
usually buy?
winter time, like I said, I don't know the exact numbers, but maybe 200 to 300 ton extra I buy, then always in the springtime, so I try to fill the barn with enough salt so we can put sand up, so I'm not waiting and everything, so then I kind of chew my money up a little bit. I like to stay ahead of the game a little bit. But no, I think everything's gonna be just fine this winter, so I have no doubts in it, so. And, like
and is it how many year contract is it?
3 years.
It's a 3-year contract.
So in 2028, it'll be up again, 2028.
So you're in charge of the snow? Like, if somebody had a complaint, is it like, you're the one who they
Yeah,
contact,
they-
or they
yeah.
contact the contractor, or the select board?
Then all the complaints will go through the road commissioner, so like,
Through you?
they take out Bill's mailbox, he'll call the town, he'll probably just call me directly, but, it's like anything, if something happens, get ahold of the town hall or call me, and all the complaints go through me, and I'll deal with it
Gotcha.
at the manner it needs to be dealt with, so. If we hit a couple of mailboxes, that's all that happened this winter, I'll write that off as a success,
I
but
don't know.
we'll
Mailboxes get hit.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens, but, yeah, any complaints or any problems will go through me, and if it's to do with the contractor, then I'll have to go to the board and we'll talk
Yeah.
about it and we'll go from there, so. But like I said, I don't really foresee any big problems this year, so.
Do you charge for phone calls?
No, not really.
You know?
Not like an attorney? You don't have.
No, I was just curious because I'm sure that takes up some of your time. Like, the
Yeah, you know,
majority
certain
of the
people
time.
I talk to, like, oh, you should charge for it. I don't know. It's just like anything. It's like sometimes they're 5-second phone calls, or like sometimes it's, or like when I get home at night, like if somebody calls me and I get home at night, I'll call somebody at like 4:30 because, you know, then you're playing phone tag, and I try calling you back, and I feel like I waste more time trying to call people back. And I just wait till I get home like 5:30 at night. I usually don't. How do you track it? You know what I mean?
Like part of the job, really.
That's what it, yeah, it's like I told you, it's part of the job. People are gonna call you, it is what it is, you know what I mean? But if I have to go look at something, then yeah, I'll charge my time to go look at something, but a phone call, no, I don't. No, to me, that's a little silly, but other people say I should, but I don't see any point in it. Just my personal
Hey,
opinion.
if you're good with
He's
it.
young.
Right.
So, while it's a 3-year contract, is there any plans to look at it after or mid-season or after the season's over to see how it went?
Oh, I'm sure there'll probably be some discussion after the first year. If it goes bad, I'm sure there'll be plenty of discussion, but if it goes good and we don't have a lot of complaints, I don't see why, but I bet after the 3 years, there'll probably be some tweaking of the contract. I mean, it's always like that. I mean, this is the first time we've ever done it, so I mean, the board and Jennifer, they did the contract and everything, and, I'm sure there'll be some quirks we'll have to work out the next round, but, just gotta get going with it. But I mean, as like a end of the year type thing, like recap, I didn't really see that, but I mean, I'm sure it'll probably come up at some point, so.
Is there an escalation in over the years, so it goes up how much percent next year?
Yeah, the first contractor, every year they went up, I think it was $1,000, and then I think the last contractor, the District 2 contractor, I believe it was just maybe I think it was one number for the 3 years. I can't remember, I'm really drawing.
So they're different. It wasn't a set, like, there wasn't like a set.
No, it wasn't like
Okay.
blank amount for 3 years, like, some people will just average it out to like so much a mile per year, and then they'll run that the whole 3 years, or people do like increments.
Oh, yeah.
Like the first contractor did an increment of every year, they went up every year, then the last contract, I don't remember, I think it's one number for the whole, I think, but I can't remember.
We won't hold it 100%
Do they
to it.
they gonna get paid whether they plow or don't plow? I mean,
Yeah, they have a schedule in the contract.
Schedule payments.
Schedule payment, I think it's.
what happens if, I guess if there's real heavy snow winter,
That's their problem.
that's their problem.
You sign the contract.
There's no clauses in there that'll let them draw
The
more
only clause in there is for the salt, like, if we
for
have a
salt.
real bad year or something, like if we have a lot of ice storms and like it's deemed like, between the board, myself, and if it was deemed that, we're having a lot of ice storms, we're going through a lot of salt, but it's manageable, like you're not just going out there and wasting it, there's a clause in there that we'll have to go back to the board and be like, hey, listen, we've had a lot of ice storms, we're using a lot of salt, will you, the board would honor buying more salt at the town expense, but if you go over your 400-ton limit and, you wasted it or whatever, the contractor will be responsible for buying salt for the rest of the year, so that's another thing that will really, that's a good clause to have in there, because it could, I don't think we'll have
Protects the
any
town.
I don't think we'll have any problems, but, there's always that.
No, but there could be an issue with that in the aspects, if I'm out of salt and I'm the contractor and I'm out of salt,
Right,
and we have a huge ice storm, I'm not gonna lay it out as heavy as the other contractor would that had the 100-ton just sitting there on the,
right,
right, it should be a standard, I think, like moving forward in this, we should try to get a standard of how it's gonna, how you salt and sand.
right.
It'd be easier if we had a standard, like, that way both sides had the same salt usage.
Right,
for
well,
the
I
most
think my
part.
plan is what I'm gonna do is like when I order salt, is what I'm gonna do is like, I'll order like 40 ton for District 1, 40 ton for District 2, or like, cause when we put sand in, there's not a lot of room till we get going, you know, and
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have 2 separate piles.
So
like-
you're in charge of the
Yeah,
salt.
I'm in charge
order.
of the salt order and I'll
Yeah.
watch the piles. So what I'm thinking is I'll order like 60 ton around, like 60 ton for District 1, 61 for District 2, and we'll just watch it, you know, and
No, I agree. You know, I'm not saying there's going to be issues with it, but I'm thinking maybe moving forward, you know, there should be a schedule of how the salt gets used more than, like, you have 400 and I got 400. You know, if we had a schedule of how much we use, then it'd be easier on the contractor, right?
Right.
What's
Because
the-
you wouldn't have to have that fear of, because salt is extremely expensive and you spend a lot of money on an ice storm. I mean, in salt, it's ridiculous, really.
What's the mileage difference between the two?
I don't think there's much.
the District 1's 24.7 and District 2 is 25.2.
Yeah, no, it's almost equal.
What about hills? Like that could make a difference, right?
District Two's got a lot more.
Yeah, you like District 2, you do go through a lot more material, like you're always treating your hills, like Fox's Ridge Road,
Yeah.
Milton Mills, like, but that's so much not, like, you'd just be putting out your regular salt sand during the
Yeah,
snow
yeah.
and everything, but like I tell people now, like, it's a lot different than it was like even 10 years ago. The amount of traffic that's on the roads in the morning, like, it's almost night and day sometimes. Like, you go out in the morning and a lot, we'll plow and sand the roads and they'll start getting like mealy, but the minute the school traffic and traffic gets on like the main roads like Milton Mills, Fox Ridge, they're breaking right up. I mean, there's a lot of traffic, all that friction, so I mean, I tell a lot of people, we don't even go slushing anymore. Like, the last couple of years, like, we don't even go out and checking for slush anymore, because the roads just bear right up, and now, I mean, there's a lot more traffic, there's a lot more people, like, the middle of the night, you always meet somebody plowing now, like, whether they're out screwing off, or they're going to work, or coming home, I don't know, but,
I think we use way too much salt in town, honestly, I think. I mean, it works good, but all that
There's
runoff
pluses and
runoff's
minuses.
going into the lakes.
Is there brine they can, I mean, isn't there some other alternative?
Pre-treating.
yeah, you just like pre
Well, if you have a cold storm, a dry storm, I mean, sand covers most of that, can cover most of that, and honestly, I don't know about you folks, but I've seen times driving the road where the salty hard pack is way slipperier than if they had just left it alone.
Yeah.
And by the same token, when you got a overnight frost or whatever, the salt attracts the moisture, and I think it makes it worse. The roads get damp, stay damp, and they don't dry up. Where if you use less salt, once that snow is melted during the day, sometimes the road will be dry at night as opposed to staying wet overnight.
yeah, I mean, we don't use a lot, like we're not going up with straight loads of salt. I mean, there is times that we do. I won't say we don't, but I mean, there's applications for it, but most of the time it's just salt sand. And like, yeah, I mean, you get like last year, like that, like people make comments to me like we'd have a storm and it get real cold and like the roads would be wet. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we used.
Yeah, if you got a cold snap and then it starts raining, you know, then there's a warm front comes in and it's raining on top of 0 degree asphalt. Yeah, you want the salt for sure. Yeah.
No, it's definitely been, and like, I've even like, you go to like snow and ice management classes and they tell you to get right away from sand altogether, and like, the salt is a very good application if it's used right. That's the part you
No,
get.
but if we had a standard, like as a town, if we had a standard of what you were to use, you know what I mean? Like when you were to use this and when you were to do that, I think that'd make a big difference in the amount that you use. Like you said, I mean, sometimes you do gotta use the straight salt, but very rarely do you have to do it, but it'd be nice to have a standard, that way it was off the contractor, because we're putting it in somebody else's hands, and I have all the trust in the people that got the contract. You know, I'm not talking of anything bad about them, but you don't know what the next guy's gonna be, right? You don't know.
That's true. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, well, that's
And right now, with you being in charge, well, both sides, the way this has gone last year and the year before,
One thing
we have a certain line of service, you know, that as a town that we expect. And who's to say that in 3 years that we're gonna get the crappiest snow guy in the world, and people gonna be in the ditch and sliding and, you know, and getting crazy. I think the town needs to have something come up that the people enact and vote on, you know, the town meeting, so it's an actual ordinance, and this is how it's gonna end up lying out. I think because there's a lot of, I'm not saying the people that got it now are bad people, but
We
you
never
don't know
if 3 years.
who's down the road 10, 12 years or 9 years, or, I mean, we've had, in the town of Acton, we've had a lot of people plowing,
Mhm.
the different contractors,
Right.
road commissioners that have dropped it halfway through it, and we got dumped 3 times. Well, twice, and then the guy died, but 3 times in the fall, we've been looking for people to take over,
Right.
you know.
Everybody, everybody does it different, but
I like the security of this contract, I really do as a taxpayer, but I think this should be a good standard for down the road. You know, even if you're the one who comes up with it, Will, like, I'm not saying like we gotta come up with it, I'm saying, but I think there needs to be a
And everybody's
protect
done
us.
it different, but the last couple of years now that, when I took over everything and like you're seeing everything happening at the same time, I got everybody towards the end last year, everybody's on the same page, everybody was treating it almost the
Oh
same.
no, it's going
And
good.
everything worked out real well.
I mean, we've been fortunate too, we've not had a bad winter
crazy
yet.
bad winter,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm not making light of an ice storm, because the worst storms you're gonna be out working in is an ice storm. I mean, that is the scariest thing when
I'm
you're sliding
thankful
around.
that whoever's been doing at least the south here, that they get out there with the salt or sand, at least an hour before I get to go to work, so.
Yeah, I tell people like in the mornings, like if it's snowing in the mornings, you have to be on the road by 3 o'clock. You can't.
In the
Yeah.
same aspects, Will, I think as a town, we should be voting that in. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have this job, the next guy could say 5 o'clock's fine, or 6
Yeah, if
o'clock's
there's a guy
fine.
sleeping in and starts at
Yeah.
6 AM, that's too late.
Yeah, and it's too late for most people,
No,
but
if you
if
don't know
you're the
this-
one in charge, I mean, we could go through a year of this, and people, I mean, it's dangerous.
So
I think it needs to
do
be,
Is there anything in
most
the
towns have
contract for
ordinances
times?
and
I know sometimes
standards?
I don't know.
In the contract, it states when it starts to snow, you were to plow until it stops,
So it's done.
till it's done, or it's worded a certain way. I haven't looked at the contract in a while, but it's worded that you will start plowing when snow
Yeah.
starts accumulating on the road, which pretty much is what we do now. Like,
No.
by the time, it's like anything, you know, if it's gonna start snowing at 10 o'clock at night, we're not gonna go to 10, we'll go out like at 1, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna have, because who knows how long the storm's gonna
Oh,
be.
yeah.
You know, everybody thinks that we got people just standing around waiting to come plow, it don't work like that.
Yeah, it's not much traffic between,
You know, that's the thing, unless it's snowing sideways
Yeah,
out, then yeah, you gotta get out there, but you know, sometimes,
3.
like I tell people, it's like, you know, this will be our 7th or 8th year plowing, and I kinda got it down to how we're gonna go out now, like it's kinda, like I said, you know, and I'll watch it all the time now, and if these guys aren't out, I'll call them, like.
Oh, no, that's just why I think this is the time, Will, for you at least, to come up with something that we can,
So,
lock
so
in, because
let's look
you've been
into what
doing it.
other towns have for standards. And if anybody's interested, I know the state puts on a really good snow and ice class that the town pays for. So if you want to, I can get the schedule on when they're doing it. It's usually in Sanford or,
They have a dirt roads class coming up, I got, but I haven't seen nothing about, well, snow and ice man is usually the end of November.
yeah.
Usually they have the class, so.
Uh,
But, yeah, no, in their contract, there's the stipulations in there, what they want, you know, and you go, when it starts, the snow starts to accumulate, you get out there, you get going, but same thing, you gotta be smart about it, you know what I mean? Like, if it's snowing at 3 o'clock in the morning, you gotta be out there, getting ready to go, because, I mean, people are leaving for work at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Earlier than that.
Yeah, you gotta be out there.
Yeah, but as a contractor, I'm losing money when I'm putting people out.
Right, well, that's the
Right,
other
like,
aspect that people say, but.
That's my fear as a taxpayer, this was one of my issues, because you're putting it into the contractor, and every time I send my 6 trucks out or 4 trucks out, it's costing me a lot of money, right? Labor,
How about cutting edges?
No, the town, now, they used to, but with the contract now, the contract is responsible for everything.
So-
okay.
Yeah, the
What
town
about-
doesn't buy anything, that went away
That went away?
from the yeah, we're not doing, no other town does it, you read any contract, you furbish the trucks, you furbish the cutting edges, the chain, your sander, the spinner,
All
everything, you're doing it.
So who's responsible for calibration on it, especially on the salt?
We have,
Is-
there's really
that's-
nothing in there on, we never, didn't really put anything in there on calculation, on calibration of the contract.
You might wanna think about it, because it is a big expense, and plus the ecological damage that it could do if we're using more than we need to.
Yeah, I know in the contract, I think it says that they recommend the contractor, the state of Maine has like a manual on like
Yep.
plowing, they recommend the contractor read that, it says it right in the contract.
Yep.
But I know there is some towns that, I went to the snow and ice management class last year, they made their contractors go to the snow and ice management
Good
class.
idea.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know what the deal was, maybe it's probably in their contract, but there's a crew from Hollis there and a crew from, I wanna say, was it Bridgeton? Yeah, maybe Bridgeton was there, and they were all private they said, yeah, in our contract, they made us come to this class, which is not a bad thing to think
No,
about.
that's a
Now,
great idea.
Cindy Hart used to bring me to, and make me go to all of them, and, again, I'll get the schedule out and, send it out to you if anybody's interested in it. Just, let us know, and we'll take care of registration and stuff.
I definitely try to go to the one every year, cause they always have something new they're talking
Yeah.
about. I try to go.
Yeah, really good presentations, the guys are great that do it, and, give you a lot of, stuff to take home, so.
But there is one coming right up, I don't know if anybody, I can look it up real quick if
Okay.
anybody would be interested. This one's
but-
all about drainage. Let me see here.
Yeah, I went to that one, I think last year. So, we'll also look at, what other towns are doing, and, that's one of the things that maybe we wanna think about more is making sure that, they're calibrating their trucks to dump.
No, that's been talked about a lot in the
Yeah.
past. No, that's one of Cindy's things that she talked about quite a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this one is all about, just drainage. The closest class to us is in Standish, and that's November 17th, that's a Monday. And this is an all-day class.
Yeah, okay.
How much do we spend roughly on salt compared to the sand? Do we spend more on salt or more on sand?
Well, it depends on the year, it depends on what sand we put out, but we've been getting the sand for such a good price, so I'd probably say the salt outweighs the sand.
Salt outweighs the sand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We've been- but we-
sand's gotta be pretty cheap, I mean.
Yeah, we got it this year, the bid I got was $13.50 a yard delivered from that, but it varied, it was 13.
Where's that coming from?
Curtis Sand and Gravel on 109, but it was $13.50, I think $14.45 from Carroll Materials in Limerick. Then the gentleman that got it last year, I think he was 16, and then Seth McCoy was like 16.75 or 16.50. So it was quite a variable in price, but I wouldn't check the sand and everything, and it's what we want. But oh yeah, for sure. We've been getting a pretty good deal on salt the last couple of years too. I think we've been paying between like $79 or $80 a ton, which that's pretty good, because I get like the chart from the state with like that hog bid thing
Yeah.
you do, and there's some towns paying almost $90 a yard, ton, so we're getting a pretty good deal on salt, so.
Great. Any other questions about the plowing contract? What about the roads? So what's next on?
We're down on Lebanon Road, we got that road all ground, and then we put ground on it last week, 414 yards we hauled down there, on Lebanon Road, and then, they were supposed to come this week to pave, but they got messed up yesterday with the weather, so we're looking at probably like the first or second of next week. Tuesday.
Can they do it on the rain, or?
They can put their binder down in the rain, they do that in the rain, you can get away with that, but your surface you can't, so. So now they're thinking it might rain Monday and Tuesday, so I'm thinking they'll probably be here Tuesday, they'll do that. They'll stay right there, they'll base it, they'll put the surface on probably the next day, and then I got that little piece of Hawk Road I gotta do, and then they'll come back and put the shoulders on, so.
And how much longer can you do it, asphalt?
Well, another month.
Yeah, another month, yeah, I mean, right now, yeah, we got this little cold snap, but I like to be done by like November first, and like, it's a little bit later than I wanted it to be, but, just this kind of some scheduling issues happened, with the paving company, and, they were a little behind, they were short-handed, so, you know, it was only, I can only call them, yell at them so much, so. But they, no, I'm pretty happy with how Lebanon Road, you know, we did all the culverts, did the ditching, reclaimed the road. There was more hot top on that road than I thought there was. On the Sanford end, there was almost 10 inches of hot top on the road, which I was shocked. And then, but it ground up real good. I mean, it was bony though. Those guys worked their butt off picking rocks, and it was bony. And then, like I said, like right when, I don't know if a lot of you went down Lebanon Road, but the first section you came into, there was a big like bump. We filled that right in last week. We put almost 200 yards in that spot, and then when you went, then after that, that good straight stretch, that graded up real good in there, so we didn't put much gravel in there, but you come around the corner, headed towards Sanford, if you sighted right down the road, the whole road was like this, so we put the gravel right to it last week, so, and I have a pretty good deal with the paving companies. If I provide the trucking and the gravel, they'll have the grader operated there, so I did out the math out the other night, I saved the town almost $29 a yard by me supplying the trucking and the gravel, because they were gonna sell it to me for trucked up there, buying the material and trucking it from Limerick was almost $49 a yard, and I got it for $27.50 a yard delivered down there.
No.
That's the trucking.
Good
Yeah,
job.
that sounds a little greedy for $9 a yard.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, they're hauling it from Limerick, so whatever, and my thing is, like, I called Curtis up, and I said, this is what I need, and I got, the next day they were there, so we lined it all up, and, they give me a good price on the gravel, and it was good, it's good material, so it worked out real well, but that's, if I had to do that, it probably would have jumped the price of the paving by, I think that whole project's 253, is 253,000, I mean, we'd be pushing probably, what, 280 probably all said and done with the shoulder gravel, so, yeah, the shoulder gravel is cheap because they do it by the foot, you know what I mean, they do it by the linear foot, so that's like $3 and something a foot that we're paying for shoulder gravel, but I've done the price on, we used to our own shoulders, but it's cheaper for them to do the shoulders than for us to do them. By the time I rent the shoulder machine, you know, buy the gravel, you know, people flagging, the trucking, they do it cheaper for that, so I mean, there's a little bit of a takeaway from it, so, but yeah, if I can buy the gravel for cheaper and do it, but it's a good deal for them, because they're great, like I just work in like an hourly rate with them, with the grader operator, and then, they have a roll there, and like that Thursday, I stayed there, I would dump the trucks out, and then, you know, I told them this is where I wanna go, I dumped the trucks out, and at the same time, I was laying the road back out to the grader operator, so everything like works pretty good, you know what I mean, I'm down there, but I wanna be down there, making sure everything is going on, like when they pave,
I want you down there.
I'll be down
As
there.
a taxpayer, when they got projects like that going down, I want you down there.
and when they pave, I'll be right there that day of their paving, I'll watch it the whole time, you know, depending on the job, the first couple hours I'll go down in the morning, then I might leave, then I'll come back in the afternoon.
Well, most municipalities, they hire contract, like a third-party company to come in and do exactly what we're getting out of you.
Yeah, I know that, there's some certain driveways down there I want winged in a certain way, and, you know, when you start walking the road, laying it out, you see a lot more, you know, like when we laid the entire road out, because we moved the road, I went down there that morning with the guy from Carroll's that lays the road out, and we spent 4.5 hours laying this road out one day. I mean, we're putting strings out, but that's what you gotta do. I mean, we're spending, it's an investment, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, you gotta do it the right way.
Yeah, so that's how I look at it, so. But yeah, we do that, and we've been roadside, my father's been roadside mowing, and we've been.
I've noticed that.
Some ditching on Hopper Road, and,
How wide's that Lebanon Road gonna be, the same as H Road, or are you guys
it's
doing
10.5 foot lanes,
10.5 foot?
and then your shoulder, so
So what is H Road, 10
that's
foot?
10 feet right now with the shoulder.
So 6 inches wider each side.
Yeah, which works out pretty good, because you'll be going into the same other two roads the same width.
Okay.
so everything lines, yeah.
Anything's, yeah, a little better than the H road is definitely a little.
Yeah, the piece I paved
It gets
last,
a little scary with the 18-wheelers, yeah.
Yeah, with the trucks.
the section I paved 2 years ago, well, last year, there was 11.5-foot lanes, that's what worked in there, and you meet a truck now, you meet two trucks, everybody's got room, like, you're not even, there's no scare tactic there anymore.
Right.
Well, yeah, no, that first piece I did years ago, you know, that was before we had a lot of truck traffic, and then boom, you know, it just blew right up, you know, so. You know, that was probably a little bit, I'll take some blame on that, but I mean, at the time, we didn't have the pit, there was nothing going on, you know, it was just regular traffic, and then a year later, boom, everything happened.
That piece of road coming up to the, our landfill there is getting beat up pretty good.
Oh, yeah, no, but that's the problem, like the H road, like, yeah, I'd like to keep paving it, but just, there's a lot of traffic on it, you
A
know.
lot of traffic, there's a lot of ledge up there too.
Yeah,
The whole
no,
hill's all
And
ledge.
it's a hill.
I'd like to focus my paving on some other places for us.
Yeah,
right
we got a
over
lot of 18-wheelers going down there
We're
now.
gonna have to
It
fix
used
to
that a
be
little
just
bit
the-
pretty soon.
Oh no, it's probably that too.
Yeah, oh,
I got
it
a
is.
question for you, Lou.
Mm.
Do we, I was trying to catch where you're getting your gravel and stuff from. Do we get it from our own town, or is it?
Oh, yeah, we get everything, everything. we buy
Everything
from-
in-house, like
Yeah, we don't,
our own pits in town?
yeah, everything we
Awesome.
buy from either, I buy a lot of my gravel from Curtis Sand and Gravel,
They should give it to us for free.
what?
They should give it to us for
If you wanna call them, Jay, you call them and tell them that. But, no, they
It
give
should be like super cheap.
yeah, but they
Since
give
you
it
have
to
to
me
pay
for
the
a
road.
pretty fair deal, you know, I mean, they gotta make money too, but like I said, even with that truck and the gravel down the Lebanon Road, I did the math out the first time, and I had thought we'd be around like $32 a yard delivered, and he told me $27.50 or $28.50, I was pretty happy, so,
No, that's good.
no, like I said, it was a big
That's good.
savings. Cause if I had to have them haul the ground from Limerick, yeah, it would've been a lot more money, you know, but yeah, everything we buy is in town, I don't go out of town, the only thing we have to go out of town for sometime is riprap, but most of the time, either between Seth McCoy and Curtis, they have riprap. Like, we've had to go to FR Carroll's in Limerick, but I don't like going out there, cause it's just, I shouldn't have to, I don't like leaving town.
Oh, it's a long ride too.
Yeah, for one load of rock, you know, it's just all day, not all day, but time you come back, put the rock out, go back, yeah, you only do like 2 or 3 loads a day if you're lucky, so.
How's everything going on the state road, that project?
I talked to the guy, the engineer from the state the other day, cause like I said, I gotta do my little piece of Hawk Road, and, they're putting their last inch on it right now, so he told me 3 more weeks they're gonna be done, so, and, so yeah, they started today, I guess, well, I came up that way when I came here, and they gotta put they're putting another inch on the road, and they gotta match in all the driveways and all the little side roads, and I guess they're gonna be done, I
You
guess.
think it came out okay, or?
I guess, I don't know, I guess, I had so many people call me when that project started.
Well, the problem is they did it to the plan, and everybody's getting the blame for that project, and it's really the engineer that really,
Right,
I mean, it's a shocker when you go up in Young's Ridge, the intersection is not nowhere near what it used to be, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not even close, and it's not the only one, Jarvin Road's the same thing, they changed that drastically.
I'm surprised how steep the drop off is on the edge of the road now.
Yeah.
In spots.
Oh, no, they really gave it to it, I mean,
yeah, I guess
it's deep.
yeah, I talked to the gentleman from Grandin, the manager, 'cause they wanted to meet me out on Garvin Road and Young's Ridge, I mean, even though it's not even our right of way, it's theirs now, but just, you know, I understand what they did with the intersection, they shortened the intersections up and squared them up to the road, so like, you pull, like
Yeah,
Garvin
it's the
Road.
DOT, it's a standard,
Yeah,
they
so
put it to
like
the
Garvin
DOT
Road, you
standard.
used to pull out and you'd be looking down the road, and now you come up square, I understand what happened, like, I bet you I had 15 people call me, cause everybody
Yeah.
at first thought the town, it was a town job.
Of course they do.
Phone calls left and right, why are you doing this, why are you doing that? I'm like, listen, the town of Acton has no affiliation with this project, I have zero affiliation with what's going on here, and I would just give them the project manager's phone number from Grandin, I'm like, you call him and take it in, but I did meet them down there on Garvin Road in Young's Ridge, and we talked about the ditches, and they did move them back, cause I did have a concern about snow in the intersections and everything, and they worked with me, I didn't get what I wanted, but, you know, I worked with them, and it is what it is, we'll make it work, you know what I mean? It just, they skinnied the intersections up, but I understand why they did it, and they wanted to make sure we were all set with it with plowing, I'm like, well, we can make it a little wider, it'd be great, but they said this is what they had to do, and I said, whatever, it is what it is, we'll work around it. We'll put some posts up, so nobody goes out in there, but yeah, no, I got a lot of phone calls about it, but I told people, I said, it is what it is, it's out of our control, and, you know, I don't know, it is what it is, I guess, it's change.
Oh, it's big change. It opened up the visibility though.
I mean, it's a lot nicer road to travel now for sure, but yeah, I just couldn't understand why some of the ditches are that deep.
I guess it was just the weight, just as far as they had to push the water, you know what I mean, they have a.
See how the winter is and how many cars end up in
Oh,
the ditches.
Well, there's a couple spots if somebody goes off where like some of that rock is, your car's totaled.
Right.
It's gone.
Yeah, I asked them, I was like, you know, these ditches are pretty aggressive, and they're like, well, this is what happened, you know, they're just trying to push water from a.
Well, it's, all the engineers are doing a lot. There's a lot of roads that are turning into like that, you know. When I was a kid, you could pull completely off the road, man. Like completely off the road. You
You
know,
know,
tires on it.
maybe-
I thought that's what they were supposed to be planning, was a pull-off.
Yeah, I don't
You're not
know,
getting-
a couple of
Get-
people
get
called
that.
me up, wanted to know like about the plans, I'm like, oh, listen, I have no
Yeah,
affiliation with this
yeah.
project, I do not know what to tell you. And, yeah, that's what I thought too, but, you know, I don't know, they told me all about the ditches and everything, I just asked, and like, yeah, well, you know, we gotta push all this water, and I'm like, hey, whatever you gotta do, I guess, I don't know, I'm not an engineer, but.
I don't know if they still have it, if it's permanent or not, but it looked like they had a curb that went around both sides going down.
Right by the soccer fields, they put
Curbs.
Yeah, they're still there, yeah, they put drainage, there's catch basin there, they put them all, like, they catch all that water, then I think around that big bank, and that they rip wrap this curbing all the way around there and everything. It kinda like really narrowed the road up. And,
Yeah.
I mean, they had to put all that drainage, there's all under drain, all the way, all spring they put under drain and everything. I understand that point of it, you know, they gotta get the water down, and they put that big box culvert in and everything, but that worked out pretty well for them, I think. They told me they shocked that stream, I guess, out in there. They got like 80 like trout out there, right before they did it, or like
Yeah.
when they started the project or something. The engineers said they had to keep going down there, keep shocking the water, and that, for that.
Because it's late in the year, it's late in the year probably.
Yeah, when they started the project, so I thought that was pretty neat, they had to shock it, and then, you know, it's all natural, you know, I guess, you know, an animal could walk right through that culvert, like.
So yeah, it's all rock on the bottom. They put river stone
Yeah. It's pretty
underneath
neat,
it and stuff.
but
What's up for the spring?
springtime,
Yeah,
I don't know, let's see how this winter goes, I guess, I don't know what we're gonna do.
no major projects that you're.
No, we're just gonna keep doing tree work. I've been trying to do a lot of tree work, and then, I mean, this year, you know, now we went to contract, if we have any like big storms through the winter time, like that one, it will come out of that summertime budget, so I'm really gonna kinda watch what I do this winter, and then, you know, in the springtime, we'll take off, we'll do our sweeping and everything, and then, you know, we'll do some ditching, you know, whatever we have to do, but I like to wait, you know, you never know what happens in the springtime, so I usually keep that door open until like April or so, and then if nothing bad's happened, we'll take off, but usually fixing stuff in the winter time, so.
Mhm. So, you mentioned this tree work, I see that, you know, Newfield's done a really aggressive on some of their streets now, are we,
I think a lot of you see is the tree company.
yeah,
Is
Right.
it,
Oh, it is
is
the
the
tree company. I
power
know.
line company.
Yeah. right.
Yeah, that's got nothing to do with the town.
No, I know, but I know that the power companies have been really aggressive
Oh, yeah,
in
they
some
were, what were they
places.
doing today? They've been up on Acton Ridge, they've been cutting up through there again on the
Uh-huh.
power line. That's the thing, well, it actually saves us, cause, you know,
Oh, yeah.
my tree guys only bouncing in between the power lines now, like, if they trim this whole side of the road, they're only trimming this side, but, yeah, they were on Lakewood Drive today cutting, but yeah, there's quite H Road, they did it, they've been on H Road quite a bit, cutting it back.
Yeah,
And everything, so, yeah, I mean, they're around, for sure, but, yeah, I did a lot of tree work up they did some on County Road, Lebanon Road, they've done quite a bit. This spring I did Nason Road, I trimmed that right back, Goose Pond Road, I got a bunch of dead pine trees they're gonna take down for me, and then,
what about some of the ash trees?
Yeah, if there's any ash trees in there right away, I have them taken them all. I think on, Nason Road and Lebanon Road, I think they took down 20 of them altogether, I think.
Mhm.
I mean, oh yeah, they're all over the place. New Bridge Road, there's a lot of New Bridge Road. We
Yeah.
had like picking and choosing on we went up through there and, cut this spring. I only had so much money left. So I said, go up there and do like a couple of days, and they took quite a few ash trees down, and, a lot of oak trees too that were just rotten, they were no good,
Mhm.
so.
So, is that part of your budget, has that been going up because of all the trees that need to be?
No, not really. I like pick and choose, cause I mean, it's one, like a tree, like all the tree guys I have, they're either $2,000 a day or 2,400, so I try to I have them come in like every couple of weeks, like, I'll have them do a week and then they'll leave. I mean, they're all work from doing something else. I mean, they're not looking to stick around, but I try to
Mhm.
rotate them. Like once a month, I'll have them come in for a couple of days and do what they can.
Yeah, because the ash tree problem is still there, and they're all dead.
Yeah, I had a
And some of the big
conversation with
trees.
the new road commissioner in Lebanon the other day, and he was online. He's got a lot of ash trees, he said, in Lebanon. And I guess there's a grant out there for trees. I don't know how recent it was. He was gonna look into it and let me know, and I told him,
Mhm.
if we gotta write the grant, we'll write it ourselves and see if we can get the money. I don't know how much it is. He was gonna look into it and let me know, but I guess there's a grant for like ash tree removal. Like the state will give you so much money towards, I don't know if it was like a match type deal. I don't know. He was gonna look into it and let me know.
Who did there's a bunch of piles of limbs at the top part of County Road heading towards,
Yeah, we did that earlier this summer. Then what I do in the fall time is I get a chipper and I go around.
oh
and
yeah,
chip
because
out.
it hasn't been, yeah, I was just wondering if it was gonna get,
Yeah, we go,
Chipped up
in the
before.
fall time, I go, like,
Plow.
we'll cut a bunch of brush. I don't like the haul brush. I think it's a kind of a
Yeah.
waste of time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we just pile it up and then when we get like a week, I get a chipper in the fall time, a week, and we'll go around and we'll chip a bunch of brush. That's how I've been doing it. It works a lot. It's
So
a
you'll
lot
be
easier.
doing that soon?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get those. I got them on Hopper Road. We got a pile on Hopper Road. It's a pile on Peacock Road. They're all over the place.
And you just rent the chipper and?
Yeah, we just rent it for a week. It's like $1,200 for the week.
Mhm.
And it's just a lot easier than hauling brush and throwing in and all that stuff.
Is there anything that we should be doing as you plan your?
The one thing I think I'm really gonna think about probably next year is the road bridge down on Hopper Road. I really think we need to just do something with that thing.
Yeah, we've needed to do it for a couple of years now.
I think what I might do is I gotta talk to the board about it, but I think I'm gonna call that Mike Bean guy again and see if he'll come out and look at it again. He's still doing it. He just did one in Wakefield this year. He's still doing it. And,
He's still doing it. He gave us a pretty good price last time on that.
yeah, I think it was like I think it was only like $250 or something. It was
yeah,
cheap
in
money.
that range.
You know, I'd like to just have him go look at it. I'm sure the numbers have either gone up or maybe he'll do it for the same, but I think the road bridge is something we should really start looking into.
What's the last one?
What about Milton? Don't they have like some?
I think we just gotta do like we did with Wakefield. Just, we do the legwork, you know, like Wakefield did with us, and they go in and said, listen, we need, what, $100,000? That's what I've been thinking, tell them, hey, listen, we need $100,000 to do this bridge, and we'll just get it over with.
They get a lot of money from the state of New Hampshire. I know, like, my sister works in the town in New Hampshire, and every town in New Hampshire gets a lot of money for bridges and stuff like that. So they could probably, wouldn't be that big of a deal for them to work that in. It might not be like a next year type of a deal, but
So what would you do? Contact Milton and just see what you can work out, or?
Yeah, I think what we should just do, like I said, like Wakefield did that year, I mean,
yeah.
we all worked together and everything, you know, when the time came, like the way, at the time Adam worked with
Yeah,
the weight and everything went great. I
he
mean,
did go great with Wakefield.
it couldn't really have gone any
Any
smoother.
better.
And, I just think that's what we need to do, you know what I mean? I'd have to, like I said, I've never been down there to meet Mike down there, so I don't know, like, what the conversation with him and Adam had been, but I really think it's something we need to think about. At least starting,
At least look at it.
yeah, I mean, I think have Mike look at it again. I mean, it's the cheapest alternative out of anything. If we're gonna do it for cheap, it's definitely that. I think he's gonna do one in Chaplin next year, he said, for, one of the road commissioners over there, that they did one in Wakefield. another one in Wakefield this summer, so. He was still doing them, I didn't know if he was still doing them or not, and, but I am gonna call him and just have a conversation with him about it, and, cause I did talk to him I did not talk to him, I talked to Adam, and he says he saves everything, he said if you call him, he probably has a drawing, and actually, we have a drawing too.
Yeah, we do have a job.
We have, he did it all out, gave us a price, and, it just didn't happen, but that's the next one to
Yeah,
really think about doing.
yeah, that railing is pretty bad.
The Hopper or the Mills?
I don't know, the state told me they're gonna do that bridge at some point. I don't know what some point is for them, but they told me.
Uh-huh.
But they surveyed it all out, they were down there, I think last spring, the spring before, it was all surveyed, they had elevation marks all over the place. So I don't know if they should do something with it, but I don't know what they're gonna do.
Great, anything else you need of us?
No, not right now. I don't think so. I just really think at some point, I don't know if we should have a meeting and talk about the road bridge, or I get all the information from the town hall that we have on it, and we could just go through it one
Okay.
night. I mean, yeah, there's a whole binder in there from Mike. I've thumbed through it.
Okay, should we get them to make copies of it, or should we just figure on just going, stopping in and reading it?
Yeah, we could probably just get it for a meeting, like we have it on Thursday night, we could probably just get it and look
Okay.
through it. It's not a very big binder, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he did a good job on it, he drew it all out, and, it's super affordable. If it was over, I think it was right around 250, I think, all said and done.
Okay, anything else? So there is an Article 43 application that just came in. You can either take a look at it now, or you can take it home and look at it.
I read it. I think Jennifer sent it online.
Yeah, she sent it
Okay.
the other day, yeah.
Yep.
Who's applying?
Yeah, but,
It's Abbott Road, it's mine, so,
Abbott Road?
yeah.
yeah. Just before we start, Article 43, actually, we can talk about this first. Anybody has any questions? I don't know if anybody's seen it. It is continuation of work we had done 2 years ago, replacing a culvert, and it's coming off of a hill, direct stream into Great East Lake. And we put a bigger culvert, longer, works great, but now we have all the ditching. Will probably knows all about this because
I have no idea what we're doing now.
this is Jericho Way,
Oh,
so in front of the Taylors.
sure, going up like by Fredericks there?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So it's a gigantic hill coming off somebody's driveway, so it's dumping a lot of water that gets into the lake real quickly. So ditching, because it was used to turn trucks and stuff around, and when you're plowing, all the ditching is in need of some care. So that's what basically this is. I could get some pictures if anybody wants it, or if anybody wants to go out and see it. Pretty cut and dry. And the estimate is at the end. And it's still $3,000 for the Article 43.
I don't know, I think it's pretty cut and dry, really.
So because conflict of interest, I'll just stay out of whatever you do now.
questions?
So it was just continuation of work that was done, when that culvert was done?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's to repair all of the culverts.
Because there's a driveway that goes underneath, Burbank
Burbank's,
driveway,
yeah.
right? And that's where this ditch is going?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
that has to be, I think, moved a little bit,
The ditch itself?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Where is it on the map? Is
Uh,
that this area?
This is Jericho Way right here.
Yeah, that's the end.
Yeah, so this is the road right here.
You know?
That's that house I just talked about, this driveway's on top. There's a ditch running right here, and then there's a big culvert that goes across and dumps into Greaves Lake.
Okay.
I don't know if you can really, I don't know how good you can zoom in.
Yeah, sometimes you can see where the water course is, sometimes you can't, but.
Yeah, right now,
Well, I
it's,
can see, yeah, where it's coming into the lake over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's the beach and everything,
So, running right down through there. Yeah, that's not very far to the water right there, is it?
yeah.
no, it's water. It's right there.
There's probably no water in it right now.
No, it's been running all year,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, it takes everything off the hill, so there's a lot of wetlands that take a long time to dry out. So, you can either decide to take action on it or just hold it over to the next meeting.
I think it's
How
fine.
much are you asking for, or,
3,000.
I mean, nobody's asked for money this year, I don't see
No,
any
There's
issues.
plenty of money in there still.
It's definitely something that can affect the water quality if it's not addressed, so.
I think it meets all the criteria.
I agree.
Your motion to approve it?
I'll second your motion.
All in favor?
One abstain.
Okay, I would say that's accepted and, no,
Moving on to the selectmen.
Okay, great, thank you. So while we're on the conversation of Article 43, so last year is our last meeting, we had a pretty in-depth discussion about a potential alternative to Article 43. And since then, I've had some conversation with some of the lake associations and some of the selectmen, and what we're trying to do, or they're trying to do, is present a alternative that puts more funding into places that don't qualify either because they don't have a certified road committee or something, other reason. As you can see, the applications are pretty onerous. It's not so bad once you do one, but you know, the first one is a little bit tougher. So they're trying to come up with some other way to do it. They did fund in the last budget $9,000 with the thought that if they needed to, they could go back to a special meeting if there was one and address it then. But since last, I think it was November, there hasn't been any applications except for this one that just came in. I was hoping, I did put out in different places and in the annual meeting, you know, to give us a call if there's any questions about the Article 43 itself, or if they needed help in doing the applications. I got one phone call from a road, and we helped them out, but other than that, I haven't, and we haven't seen more applications. So I think maybe it is time to look seriously at an alternative. Talking to Mr. Winchell, he has had some preliminary discussions with AWA, and that might be an avenue that, just like they do every budget, at the end they have all of the contributions, you know, to the Nurses Association, to some of the lake associations. I think some of the selectmen see that that's the route that maybe go to, and make it a little bit more open to other private roads.
So they wanna give like ROI, like a donation and
Earmark it
earmark it for like road or like runoff.
for yes, for protection of the lakes.
So, I mean, you'd have to stay into like, you know, I know they do like those rain gardens and all that stuff, so is it, or we're talking about like road work type?
Well, we're talking about culvert work, we're
Right.
talking about any ditching.
Right.
Does anyone do ditching now?
What's that?
Do they do ditching now, or is it just
I think it's
working
just like,
people's yards, like down the
I still
driveway?
think it's like the work in the yards. I remember the night the gentleman came, I guess they're getting more grant money and like, they wanna expand, but, you know, just, it's all a cost thing, you know, it's just, they wanna be able to do more, but, you know, I know this idea was kind of bounced off back and forth, and I mean, I think it could work, but you gotta make sure they use the money for what it's for, you know what I mean, like runoff and leaking, but, I mean, they're always doing something around the lake, I feel like it could be used
You know,
in this aspect, but.
one of the biggest problems is usually the crowning, right? And because the way this was set up, it's not typically for maintenance. And crowning could be maintenance, but I mean, it's a critical piece of making sure your water runoff is going where it's supposed to. So I think the selectmen see that also, and this would maybe even expand it to doing some better crowning.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how AWOL would do it, I mean, they're more
Well,
like.
so AWA doesn't have to do it, it's not, all they're doing would be just basically the same thing that we do, is just hand out the, or have a place where they can make an application for the work, and then the road does it themselves.
Oh,
I think if we made the application easier, you know,
And
like,
open
I
it
don't
up.
see, and I don't see why we couldn't allow, I don't understand why they don't allow grading, because that is one of the most critical pieces to protecting the water. And unless somebody sues you, I mean, you get involved in whether this is legal, this is illegal, and this could be illegal, but no, this isn't. I mean, we've passed ordinances in this town that the state has told us that we can't enforce said ordinances, that our lawyer has told us that it was legal, right? So just because it said, somebody tells you this is legal or this is illegal, you know, unless somebody sues us over grading Edgecombe Road, I don't see what the issue is.
So
Yeah.
forgive me, but I'm missing, where are we talking about? Who's gonna get the money then? And
So AWA, which is the,
Acton Wakefield Watershed Alliance.
thank you.
oh, okay, all right,
So
sorry.
it's a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Right.
And what they do now is, they'll, if you pay for some of the materials, they'll come in and do the rubber.
Erosion control, basically, right?
Erosion
No, people
control.
have done stuff and they
Right
do
now-
good work.
Yeah, they do
I'm all
excellent
for
work.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like if you
Both
live
my
on the
son,
water
I
bill
think
and you
both
have
my
like
sons
erosion
worked for
problems,
AWA.
you call this gentleman up, they come out, they look at it, they come up with like a plan, you agree on it. And I think you agree to buy the material, so they say you need like 6 yards of stone and, you know, a couple of pressure treat boards, you buy the material, I think they go get
Then
it.
they'll reimburse you? or-
No, they'll
They do
they'll
it.
put it
They do
in.
the work.
They
Oh,
do
they'll
all the
do
work.
it.
So
Oh,
it's
I
their
see.
labor, your materials.
Right.
Is how they do it.
Okay.
Right now, they actually have native plants for people that live on
Oh, yeah, you said.
the water, they'll actually provide.
I'm all for giving AWA more money, but I don't know if this is gonna solve the issue that we have with the Article 43.
Well, you know, you bring up a very
I
valid
think-
point. If we could come up with a better,
I think if we allowed road
Distribution
grading,
system.
the distribution system,
Mhm.
I mean, when we first started this, there was a lot of applications.
Yeah, that we had to.
There was a lot of applications.
You know, we
And
had,
through the times of changing it and changing it and changing it and not allowing certain things, whether it be street sweeping or anything like that, because it's considered maintenance but that's all up to interpretation, right? Whether it's up to maintenance or not. I know Shapley, I've said this before, but Shapley grades roads, like private roads, this list of private roads, they grade, they put real money into these roads. And they haven't been sued, and they've been doing it since the 90s when we were told not to. See, in the 90s, late 90s, when this all started with this private road thing, that's what turned the town against each other. Because I live on a town road, you live on a private road,
Yeah.
I'm not paying to plow your road no more, and that's exactly what happened. And I voted to stop doing it because I believed the lies as a young man. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that it's only illegal if you get in trouble.
yeah.
It's a good way to look at it.
It's true when it comes to, look at what in government, all the laws that are broken in government, and these people just do it and they do it and it's not a big deal. And I don't see, and at least put it to the people to vote for it at town meeting, and if the people at town meeting say no, then no. But I think,
Well, I think also a good thing to think about, to add on to that, is maybe it is a gray area about whether it's, you know, it's not legal by the state, but it has been, Shapley's figured out a way
Shapley
to
just
do
does
it.
it. And there's other communities, Shapley's not the only
Right.
one.
But I
You know, there's a
think,
lot of other communities that take care of private roads. Just
and I
to-
know this,
Well, there's a couple, yeah.
and there's quite a few of the private roads have become organized, most of them. I don't know if all the private roads in Acton are organized, but they, I mean, we carry $1 million policy on ours, so anybody who works on our road, we're all protected, all the board people are protected, all the workers that come and work on the road are protected. So I mean, a lot of these road associations could, it would be safe for the crews to work on the road.
I think a road grading, once, most roads, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. I know it's
No.
really
Well-
short money, and for the savings that we could do in the quality of water, you know, because we are fortunate, we have good lakes up here.
I would put this question to Will. If we start grading some of these private roads or authorizing grading, and underneath these private roads have got a lot of big cobble and stuff that comes up when they start grading. Now we're talking about hauling in gravel or something to smooth the roads up.
Well, that's the thing, like, I mean, most dirt roads you go down are pretty good, so you start grading them, you know what I mean? Who knows?
Oh, no, you know, you start pulling, like when the town, we took over Peacock, right?
Right, yeah.
And when I worked for Winchell for the first probably 6 years, we had to walk behind the grader and get rid of the rocks and get pulled
Yeah.
out,
Right,
you know? But it doesn't hurt the town to do a little bit for the taxpayers like that.
And even
you know?
like, even if it wasn't for like the aspect of the town doing it, even if we could just give them the money.
Give them the money.
Like
I don't
this-
want the town to do it. I want to do it like an Article 43 thing. You
Right.
know, where if you got a road grading, average road grading, I don't know what it costs a mile to grade a road, but whatever the average is, we'll give them up to $3,000 towards the road grading. And that's what we're doing with Article 43. All you have to do is allow road grading on this application is really what my argument is.
Jay, I have a question. Are
Or
we
we could just
obligated to
Yeah, or gravel.
spend
Just
Article 43 funds each year? Are we
No,
obligated to?
no, it's a rolling fund.
And here's the reason why I ask, because although we're talking about using it elsewhere, you know, to improve private roads, we've had real mild summer, no heavy rainstorms, no hurricanes. You know, the winter's been fairly mild. We've been lucky. I mean, if we get a couple severe storm events that happened, any and all Article 43 money could be gone in 1
Real
month.
easy. Patriots Day storm.
So, to continue that, I was thinking that maybe it's just best for this year to just kind of roll it over and see what this summer and next year's gonna bring, rather than just say, hey, we got the money, let's get rid of it.
Yeah,
I mean, I like what you guys are talking about, but in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about, hey, when we have some serious storm or something washes stuff
Oh yeah, but
out,
you're only allowed the $3,000, and you can
Well,
use that
yeah.
3,000 for whatever you want.
if we roll money over, maybe we can increase the maximum that we give.
yeah, so that would take, a change in the program, and I think would have to go to.
I mean, I think
town meeting.
inflation is kind of gonna dictate that at some point, we gotta raise the disbursements a little bit anyway.
Right, so what happened, when it first was, in place is they did a $50,000, designation. So that money has run out, but it took, 6 years to do it, or 5 years.
Oh, okay, well,
All right, so it doesn't lapse, it just stays there, but it doesn't grow unless the town puts
That's-
more money.
so,
into it.
but now, are we gonna start over with a fresh kitty for the next 6 years, or how's that gonna work?
Well, so I think that's what the selectmen are wrestling with, is how do you build something that makes it available for more roads? Because their thoughts on Article 43 has been, it's only been a few road associations that have really used it.
Yeah, but some
I
of these
think
road
there's been, like-
associations have over 100 places on those.
I mean, maybe,
Yeah, right.
maybe,
They're very well
the next thing to do is
Oh, yeah.
look at the private roads, the road associations, and say which one of these is getting the most traffic, the most use. Maybe, we talk about at some point converting that to a town road, start with maybe regular grading, and then at some point,
Well, the problem with that, Bill, is our standard for a town road is here.
Yeah.
That
Most of the-
in some of these roads, it's unachievable, like.
right, well, that's why I was
Like
thinking.
Loop Road, for example, you're never gonna have the minimum width that they're gonna require, you're never gonna, cause everything's so,
Yeah.
Right, the turnarounds,
yes, and the turnaround, even,
yeah.
don't even get me going on the turnaround. But
Right.
we don't even have them on our town roads, but if you want a private road to be a town road, you're gonna put it in, but
Yeah.
we don't have any turnarounds for
Right.
hardly at all. I'm not saying we don't have any, we do have
Because
turnarounds,
most end
but,
up at the beach and there's no place to turn around.
but usually if you're doing it in a big truck, man,
Yeah.
you're going back and forth a
Right,
couple times to get it.
And that's why I was saying, if you start grading some of these roads and they get tore up, they're gonna either they're on their own, or we're gonna have to spend more money to get the road back in a
And I know-
usable condition.
I know Dave for years has talked about looking at the road ordinance and making something that's more achievable.
Yep.
Making it easier for somebody to be a town road. Cause usually this is the only ones I've been through, but like Peacock Road, I remember when that was voted on and the town took that over, and it wasn't really that contentious of an issue. And the same with 7th Street, there was issues with 7th Street, but it wasn't like it was a real close vote at town meeting.
I mean, if you
The
want,
town typically will vote a road in.
if you wanna do a new road, even if it's private, on a cul-de-sac for half a dozen or a dozen houses in Acton, you gotta build the road to Milton Mills standard, except no blacktop, except for the last 100 feet. I mean, it's crazy how much money you gotta spend
Yeah.
to put a road in just to.
And for an old road, you can't do that. If you got a 5-mile road or something, you can never hit that. If you live on Edgecombe Road, that road will
That
never
would
be
be
a town road
millions.
because it's impossible for it
Be
to hit
millions of
the.
dollars to get that.
It's
to
just
the
impossible.
town
The
hall.
grade is so steep that you
Yeah.
can never do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a hill that's just,
Because that's one of the stipulations. It cannot be over a certain steepness.
yeah,
So, why don't I talk with Mr. Winchell and see if we can come up with a date where he can come in and meet with us, and so we can really get down to different options and get a sense of where they wanna go.
I think as a selectman now, I'm not speaking for Dave, but as a selectman, I don't think that they'd want to take any more town roads on, right? Because it's just gonna increase the budget and make them look worse and worse and worse.
Yeah,
I
well,
honestly
so
think-
I was talking about Article 43, but that is the next step.
And that's, I think, the same aspects of the Article
Exactly.
43, and I'm not picking on them, but I think it's the easiest way to cut money,
Alright.
you know?
Yeah, I don't think that they're looking to necessarily cut money. I think they generally want to find a way to be more effective. I think it is effective to the grants that go out, but how can we make it more accessible? And there are a lot of roads that probably could use the help even more than, some of our roads, but, yeah.
And even if we were to do something like that, I mean, not so much drop the number, but like from 3 to 2, and like, if there's like 10 roads, give them $2,000, I mean, that'll at least get them started, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see the issue with helping the roads out, if other towns are doing it, I don't see the problem. Like, when I went to that snow and ice management class last year, the town of Sebago, they grade like 25 miles of private road.
Yep.
Yeah.
The town grades it.
Yeah,
every
lots
year.
of,
Well, and they
yeah.
do winter maintenance on
Right,
it.
and like the guy's like, yeah, it's
That's
an
one of the
increase in the
towns that-
budget, but like, it's always, should we be doing this? Who knows? I mean, they've just done it forever, you know what I mean? I'm not saying the town should be outgrading Abbott Road, but I'm just saying if we could contribute.
Yeah, that's-
No,
to
but
town-
you can contribute to
Right.
like an Article
Yeah,
43
'cause-
type of thing towards that.
Right, and
type
as
of-
long as they're using the money for that, and they come back and say, listen, we graded our road this spring, this fall, we put some gravel on it, we did this, and then they're showing us that they're doing that, I don't think there'd be a problem, but it's the problem of, okay, you give this person the money and it doesn't go to that, well,
Right,
you're not solving anything, that's my biggest thing.
For example, I don't
That
know
hasn't
about
happened.
now, but in years past, it seemed like somebody's just got a little drag behind an ATV on Loop Road over there, for
Well,
example.
I mean, it's, a lot of the roads are, just people just pitch in and they just.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you got a tractor, I got a tractor, I'll meet you in the
I think-
middle, and,
I think there's some blacktop in on that road
Loop
too.
Road, yeah, they used to be paved.
Yeah, so,
Town used to coal patch
I
that
think-
road.
I think it would go a long way for, I'm speaking because I'm on a private road and it's not benefited by this 40, it's not benefited by this
Why?
because we don't have a great pond.
That's the problem.
Well, our great pond is in Lebanon,
Yep.
so there's no way we can access these funds. And I don't know how many other roads are in the
There's
same
probably a lot of
boat
others.
as ours, but it'd be great if, it would be huge for many of these roads if we could access $2,000 or $3,000 a year. I mean, it would be tremendous to put serious gravel into a road each and every year, or every other year, just,
how about a
You know-
road that runs into a smaller stream, which
That feeds
feeds
into the lake.
Yeah.
oh,
to the
ours
great
does. Ours
Yeah, so-
starts at the top and runs right down into Milton Three Ponds, but that's in Lebanon.
So, actually, I don't wonder if you could still, because if you can prove that that lake is still, or your area is still the watershed into that
It's
lake.
critical rural, so it's all,
So the lake doesn't necessarily have to be enacted.
I don't know.
So well, I
Yeah,
think we could look into it and determine.
yeah.
You'd have to get the DEP to tell you if it was a watershed survey had been done. That's actually why Balch Lake wouldn't qualify,
Oh,
because they didn't have a watershed survey.
I'm surprised they don't.
They are getting one now. I'm shocked,
I'm really shocked.
yeah.
really, it's huge.
Right. So, let's think about it still, and
Sure.
we'll try to get them in and, address the
Yeah.
issues of, you.
some of these other roads that don't have the same
Exactly.
access capability,
Mhm.
really.
Right. Right. Anything else come up,
No, I'm not.
Tim? No. All right, well, so, I think, let's just figure out how we can help you when you have things coming up, and,
No, I think we should really look into the road bridge, like
Yeah.
I said, I've thought about it, I think we just need to kind of do like Wakefield. We do the legwork and we just go to Milton and say, listen, we need this much money.
And we can-
Even if it's only a few $100,000, we
Yeah,
can go, Milton can come up with their money and give it to us when they can get it. It's not like you're looking at a huge amount. We got enough money right now in the bank that wouldn't kill us.
No, I mean.
You know, I'm not saying take the whole thing. I'm not saying the town of Acton should pay for the whole thing and Milton just whatever with it. But there's avenues where they might take them different amount of time than what we can to make it work. That, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
kind of like Wakefield did with us, where they paid for the bridge and they did all that stuff, and then we came up with ours, and then
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know what their calendar year runs on over there.
I'm not sure either.
But I'm, like I said, we went over to them and said, listen, we'll pre-buy the bridge like Wakefield did, this and this, but you're gonna pay for this amount. And you break it down for them like they did here.
I mean, we had a deal that with that bridge up there that, I mean, you'd be stupid not to go with.
No, I mean, that night it was a no-brainer. I mean,
It was a
yeah,
no-brainer. I didn't care where you were. If you're a cheap person like my father, or somebody that likes to spend money, you know, everybody's like, this is a
I mean, I
great
think it was
idea.
that-
We're saving money.
I think Wakefield came that night, the next week, they had a meeting, and I mean, they got the ball rolling, and it was a done deal, you know, I mean, it was about the best thing that we could get cost-wise.
Oh, it was. It was a great deal. Worked out perfect too.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna work on next, is that. 'cause that-
great. Well, and also, as you're coming up on the budget, if there's anything we can
Mhm.
help with that too.
Yeah, that's due
when do
next
they-
week, the
when do they have
21st,
That's due next week.
the 21st October,
Really?
yeah. Yeah, we're doing something different this year. I
Starting
guess.
early.
Yeah, they want to start early, be done early, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Whatever. That's
Well,
what
if
they-
there's anything we could be helpful with there, just let us know.
Yeah, that's what they want to do, hey, whatever, I'll do what they want.
It's a good idea. I think it's a good idea.
So
to start
then
with.
we need to talk about how much money.
Well, I mean, we'd have some wiggle room on Article 43. I mean, it's not like,
Yeah,
nothing won't be in stone until probably January. I
yeah,
mean, we
well,
got
right.
time.
no, and what do you have, what is it, 12,000 in there right now?
No, 9.
9,
Well, this
so,
goes to.
But with
Be
the
safe.
caveat that they could potentially put more in,
right,
but
Yeah.
they just came up with a number.
Yeah, 'cause they got that contingency thing they did last year.
Yeah, right. Any other
I'm
business? Thank you very much, and we will close the meeting or make a motion to close the meeting at 7:20.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Thank
all
you.
in favor?